breakfast every day. Today I'm going to be making banana muffins, chocolate chip banana muffins. Here is what you need to make chocolate chip banana muffins. We have some chocolate chips. We have some bananas ready to mash. We have some baking powder, a little bit of salt, sugar. We have some flour, milk, oil, my measuring tools, and my baking cups. Now I like to use the silicone ones because we get to reuse them over and over, and I like to reduce how much waste we're making. And I always keep my recipe right nearby to look at. Okay, so I'm getting ready to make my muffins, and I have my recipe here. And the first thing I need to do is combine the dry ingredients. So I'm going to combine flour, sugar, and baking powder in this bowl right here. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is do a cup and 3/4 of flour. So there's 1 cup. And here's my 1/4 measuring tool. I'm going to do that 3 times to make it 3/4. 1, 2, 3. So there's all my flour. Now I'm going to add the sugar. Now the recipe says 1/3 a cup of sugar, but I've changed it over time because I feel like it needs just a little bit more. So I do 3/4 a cup of sugar. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now I've added the sugar. It's hard to see with the light. Oh, there, that's better. And then the last dry ingredient that I'm adding is the baking powder. And the baking powder, I need 2 teaspoons. So I use my 1 teaspoon measuring tool, and I do 2 of these. 1, 2. Okay. So there are my dry ingredients, and I just mix that together. And after I mix it together, I have to make a well in the middle. It's kind of just like a little hole in the middle, and that's where I'm going to dump in my wet ingredients. So first you do the dry, then you do the wet ingredients. So I'm making a hole in the middle now. I'm not sure if you can see that. I kind of just make a little space in the middle there. And that's where I'll pour my wet ingredients in a moment. Okay, I forgot to mention that I added 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I put that right into the mixture and stirred that up and made the well. Now I'm getting ready to mix up my wet ingredients. So when you make banana muffins, you have to mash the banana first. So I have my nice soft banana, and I'm just going to mash it with my masher. And I like to get it nice and soft, so it takes a little bit of time. But it's nice and liquidy now, so I'm going to scrape off what's left on there. So that looks nice and mushy. And I need to add 1 egg. I'm going to put that right in there. Try not to get any shells in there. Put the broken shell in one of my mixing cups. Measuring cups, I mean. And then I'm going to add the milk. Now when I make banana muffins, because the bananas have liquid in it, the recipe asks for a little bit less milk. If I was making any other muffin, it would be 3/4 a cup of milk. But because there's banana added, it's only 1/2 cup of milk. So I find my 1/2 cup, fill that up, put that right into the mixture. And my last step, well, not my last step, but my last step with the wet ingredients is to add some cooking oil. And I use olive oil for everything. We just love olive oil in our house. So to the olive oil, I have to do 1/4 a cup of cooking oil, or I'm using olive oil. So that's my smallest measuring cup. And I take my whisk and mix that up. Break up the egg, get it all mixed in together. Make sure it's really mixed in. The next step is going to be adding it to my dry ingredients. Move my stuff out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, now I'm gonna add it. Now you remember I had a well in the middle, that little hole in the middle. See if you can see that. Okay, so here I am adding it right into the well. All right, it's nice and full in there now. So now all you need to do is take the whisk and mix it together until it's mixed just enough. It does not have to be super soft or super smooth. It just needs to be all mixed in. It's okay for it to be a little lumpy. If you really don't like it lumpy, you could use an electric mixer, but I find this works fine. Probably waking my kids up right now making this, banging on the bowl, but they need to get up soon anyways. Trying to get all the powder inside mixed in. It gets thick and a little heavy. This is the part an adult might have to help with. Okay, try to get as much up in there out. And I'm just going to take this, mix it around a little bit. Now, the last part isn't in the recipe, but I've always done it, is add chocolate chips. So, when I add chocolate chips, I always do at least 1/2 cup. And then I mix it in and see what it looks like. Sometimes I feel like it needs more, sometimes I think it's fine. So let's see. And I'm doing what's called folding it in. I'm just kind of scooping up the dough and folding it over the chocolate chips. I'm gonna add a little bit more. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little on the top. Now, I personally like the dark chocolate chips. I think they taste better, but you could use milk chocolate too. All right, so now my dough is ready to go into the muffin tin. Okay, the next step is putting the dough into my muffin tin. I have this handy little scooper that I have from Pampered Chef. Got it a long time ago, and I love it when I'm baking because it helps get all the dough right into each little baking cup. I do 2 scoops of this into each cup, and then if there's any left over, I kind of just top it off. So you can see how I do that. I do 1 and 2. And I just kind of go all the way around like that until it's full. Okay, so I filled all of the muffin cups and I still have a little bit left. So I'm just gonna scrape it. And the ones that look like they have a little bit less, I'll put a little extra scoop in. I don't have to use it all, but I don't like wasting either. Now, you might notice that there's 2 empty ones in the middle. I used to have 12 of these, but over time, I think some have accidentally gotten thrown in the trash without us knowing. So, I have 10 now. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to put the muffins in the oven. My oven is set at 400 and they will bake for 20 minutes. Put it right here on the bottom rack. Slide it in. Set the timer. And we'll see what they taste like in 20 minutes. Okay, so my muffins are in the oven, and now it's the part that I probably don't like the most, is the cleanup. And my kitchen's a little bit of a mess already, so I need to spend a few minutes now cleaning my kitchen. See the flour and sugar that I spilled. And there's some dishes in the sink. The dishwasher needs to be emptied. Not fun, but it needs to be done every day. Okay, my muffins are done. They look beautiful. I'm sure my kids are excited to eat them. My kids are just waking up now.